Two teams that met back in Super Bowl 37 in San Diego. The Bucs and Raiders are underway. This fielded at the 2. Gets around him. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And this is a guy who cares totally about his team. He will do whatever it takes for a play to be successful and for his team to win. I've seen him become a lead blocker on running plays, even though I'm sure his coaches don't want him anywhere near that pile.
Now Winston. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, tried to start it out with a bang, but it's second down. Here's the offense, and highlighted as a guy who gave himself his own nickname, the Dugginator.
Brandon, you really can't nickname yourself, but if he keeps running at this level, he'll have plenty of good nicknames to choose from.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. Jameis now on first down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Quickly now, the starting 11 for the Oakland defense.
If you're a GM in the NFL and someone wants to question your credentials and you say, well, I drafted Khalil Mack, you're good to go because Khalil Mack was a 2016 NFL Defensive Player of the Year. He anchors everything they do in Oakland. Speed off the edge, strength at the point of attack, can drop into pass coverage, can play defensive end and outside linebacker, and guess what? Hardly anyone is blocking him.
On second down, Winston again. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look. 6 DBs. Again, it's Winston. He's going to float this one deep right. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be down deep into Oakland territory. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive the team towards a victory.
Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
A second down throw for Winston. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're taking a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after it.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
It's caught, and it's 8-0. So they get in for the opening drive score, and they go for 2. They kept the kicker lonesome over there. They said, we don't need you this time.
Kickers? Who needs kickers for PATs?
Be nice now.
We want them for field goals, not for PATs. They went for 2 and got it. It's a new tone setter for this team.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Derek Carr charging onto the field along with the rest of the Oakland crew. And for Derek Carr, and really Oakland, not the season that folks were expecting, but for Derek, passing yards, completion percentage, touchdowns, all down. Interceptions were up in 2017.
And I think he would own all of that. You know, he'd be the first to say this is all on me. But I think if we look at the bigger picture, offensive line, while highly decorated, I don't think they played up to their standard this past season. How about out wide? Michael Crabtree, Amari Cooper, their numbers weren't what you would expect either. And Marshawn Lynch was their biggest runner at 891 yards, averaged a little bit over 4 yards a carry, but really didn't get going until later in the season. So when you add it all together, Derek Carr had his struggles, but I think the entire offense of the Raiders had their struggles as well.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. Shotgun now for Carr. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Quan Alexander in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Not something you see a whole lot of, a sack of Derek Carr, and due in large part to a good O-line. Carr was sacked on less than 3% of his dropbacks last year, lowest in the league.
Oakland knew it was important to take care of their quarterback. They picked up Donald Penn, Kelechi Osemele, and Rodney Hudson in recent years, and it's paid off.
So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. This is taken at the 23. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe
and got his man complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets us into enemy territory across the 40. He got 29 yards that time.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Going up top. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
That is caught at the 7. He got 29 yards that time.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
They'll throw again. Winston. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off the drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
And they've stopped them on the first 2 downs. Obviously, this is an important play coming up here. I think it's more so for the guys on defense, because if they stop them here, I think they've set the tone for the entire game. How different.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans from 6 yards away. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. In racing, going 3 wide is a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Nick Folk for the point after. And it's 15-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Folk out there now to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. The starting offensive unit now coming up on your screen. Who are we highlighting, Charles?
DeAndre Washington out of Texas Tech, the leading rusher in the Big 12 in 2015. I don't think he'll be utilized much as a lead ball carrier. He'll be a terrific 3rd down back. Catch the ball in open space and create big plays.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. They'll keep pounding here with Lynch. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. 15-0 our score, and we're back to Oakland after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Throwing his car on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
On is the punter King to send it away. Fielded at the 20. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And a look now at the game so far for Jameis Winston. He's showing off that arm, showing it off very well. They've got the lead. Don't forget, though, about the protection he's had. The protection's been good.
And I'll guarantee you he hasn't forgotten about it at all, because that's keeping him clean in the pocket, allowing him to step into throws and make those deep passes come true. I mean, it's just been beautiful for him to do. But guess what? In the huddle, on the sidelines, guaranteed he's thanking those big guys up front for keeping him safe. How feel he made by dinner.
Indeed, entertaining to relive some of those deep balls. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Mario Edwards in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Partner, I know the ball security's preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
On 4th down, they do snap it to Winston. He's got Evans. 30, the 20, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, 78 yards. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. So it was 4th down. They go deep to try to pick up the first. They pick up more than that. They pick up a score.
I'm not even sure the analytics guys would think that was a good gamble. 4th down there going for it, but they pressed the issue. And not only did they complete the pass downfield, how about the run after catch that ends up culminating in a touchdown? That's a huge play.
Now Folk for the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. Out there now to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
This one caught left side by Cooper. There he goes, Amari Cooper. He's at the 30. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down at the 16. A big play there on the catch and run. 59 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. Gives to Lynch on the draw. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. To throw on 3rd down. Carr. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth. And the 39-year-old veteran puts it right through. And the deficit falls under 20 now. It's a 19-point game. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. He has certainly made the most of his catches so far, both of them going for touchdowns here in half number 1.
And we've never met a team that doesn't talk about getting off to a fast start and featuring guys that they want to have the ball early. We're seeing both of those come into play here. Off to an incredible start, got their feature guy going, and now everyone else should have opportunities.
They go play action here on first down. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Play action now, Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Jameis to throw it. He's going to float this one deep right side. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. And they get 28 yards on that one. And that'll be good enough for a Tampa Bay first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And now a first down following that long gain. Now a play fake here on first down. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Adam Humphries, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. And the defensive there, that was a battle. He just made a really nice play.
A really nice play, making sure his body position was correct. And how about the throw? Zipped it in there.
And it results in the touchdown. And they will line up now for the two-point try. To the air again with Winston. And incomplete. And unable to connect. They don't get the two-point conversion here. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a two-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
That's true. You've said that before. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now they got to get to the line quickly. On second down, here's Carr. And this one is incomplete. Michael Crabtree, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down. The Raiders on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 16. From the gun, it's Carr. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Oakland. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm, throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun.
He's got him in, complete. 20, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Deshaun Jackson, 88 yards. And this Buccaneer offense is running away with this one.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. On for the extra point is Folk. And the route is on here in this first half. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Folk out there now to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And it's incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And now it's second down. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. On second down, Lynch. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a third down and 6 to go.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
All right, Brandon, back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get you caught up on all the highlights from the first half. The Raiders have really struggled out of the gate here. The Buccaneers have done a good job taking control of this game, and the scoreboard shows as much. All right, let's get it going. Here's the first half highlights. Buccaneers opening the game on offense. Quick pass and completion to Deshaun Jackson. And he capped off the long drive with the TD. Late in the first quarter, they'll take the early advantage. Winston looking in the direction of Mike Evans, and he finds him. And this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown. 4th and long as they open it up to 15-0. Evans is wide open down the field. And 78 yards later, he's going in for the score. The lead grows to 22. 1st and 10. The quick pass and completion is made, and this goes 12 yards for the score. Buccaneers up now by 25. Bucs with the ball late in the half. The pass will be completed into coverage, and he'll take this all the way for the touchdown. Bucs with a commanding lead. So that's it for us at the EA Sports Studio. We'll go back now to Oakland for the start of the second half.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. They were in the 4-3. Mike linebacker made a great tackle.
And when that happens, generally it means that the guys up front, the 4 down defensive linemen, have absorbed all the blockers and allowed him to run free to the football. He ends up with a textbook tackle.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play. Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And a look now at the game so far for Jameis Winston. And he's been magnificent as we start to roll on all these touchdown passes he's had so far. It's been fun to watch.
It's been almost poetic, hasn't it? Captain, my captain. And this captain is playing so well in leading his team. As you mentioned, the great number of touchdown passes. He's looking really, really sharp.
Now maybe he just wants to add to that total, right?
And why not? More the merrier.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
We talk about setting a tone or beginning a drive. That run was absolutely textbook. I'm telling you, partner, now they're not just thinking about an easy drive. They're thinking about maybe taking it downfield.
Yeah, started at their 2. Now they've got a heavy amount of breathing room. A very solid gain of 27.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Now they almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Winston. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
First down, Winston. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
And that one is incomplete. He just dropped it. But they're up big on the scoreboard, so maybe he can chuckle about later. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. The play fake to Sims. Now Winston letting one go deep for the end. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Deshaun Jackson, 29 yards. And this Buccaneer offense, they're running away with this one.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Now Folk for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Folk out there now to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. And now Oakland ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Carr now to throw. Looking deep for Crabtree. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Let's shift now and discuss Deshaun Jackson. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. That goes for a gain of 31. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they knew there were going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by David Anderson. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
Brandon, these quarterbacks had their hands full all afternoon long, but they finally get a measure of revenge as he gets himself in a nice spot. He's able to get 2 hands on the football and pick it off.
They'll try to get something going with Marshawn Lynch. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in the East Bay. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Raiders on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Throwing now is Carr. It finds Crabtree for the completion. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a 1st down.
I was going to say on 3rd down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just kind of shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the 1st. They'll set up the screen to Lynch. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Raiders on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Again, they'll throw with Carr. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And down he'll go at the 25. It'll be a 3-yard gain. And just like that, it's third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now Carr, and Cook has it left side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentate.
And nothing but daylight ahead. Past the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So they're going to go for 2. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And his throw here's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now Carr throwing on second down. And that's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts. And it's third down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On third down, Carr. Looking for Crabtree, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brent Grimes. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag. Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They're looking to throw this. Winston. Trying to drop one in, but it's incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. And it's third down.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
On third down, Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out. Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you're two.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Oakland, we sign off. So long, everybody.
everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Jameis Winston's Buccaneers going up against Tannehill's Dolphins. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. It is a hot and humid afternoon as we get set for football in the southern part of the Sunshine State in Miami, Florida. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the sight of their Dolphins emerging from the Hard Rock Stadium tunnels, and we are ready to go as the Dolphins get set to match up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everybody, alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Godden, and you know, now more than ever, it's a passing league. We know that, and as Larry hit onto the open, we've got a couple of great passers squaring off here this afternoon.
And usually the discussion centers in on how they're going to compete against the opposite defense. But you and I had a nice little chat with one of these guys in this game, and they did say, look, I'm always competing against the opposite quarterback. If I play better than he does, I think my team has an advantage.
Makes the handshake afterwards a little sweeter, too. Cody Parkey now ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Miami. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
No question at all about his talent, and that's been on display since his first game as a starter at Florida State. On a Monday night, the whole country watching, he only missed 2 passes in the entire game and led his team to a big victory and later a national championship as a freshman.
Winston. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. A huge play there right off the bat. 44 yards. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. From the gun, Winston. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on second down. And one advantage for this offensive unit is the big target, Mike Evans.
Play to his strength, his size and catch radius. Throw it up there, let him go get it.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. After the interception, here's Tannehill. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Levante David able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of 3. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
A first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. But expanding a little bit on Kenyon Drake, interesting year because hardly used early on. Then Jay Ajayi goes to Philly, and he took over as the Dolphins' lead back after that trade.
And was never a lead back in college. He was always that accessory piece who helped him in the special teams as well. So we'll see what the Dolphins decide to do in 2018. See if they give him a little competition at that spot.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
But if you're a fan of defense, especially this defense, you like what you're seeing here in the early going. Play with some great energy. Already have a sack. And on that one, came back and forced an incompletion. They're getting after him.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That's taken on the 25. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
A first down throw for Winston. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And a look at the starters for the Miami defense.
It's easy to go back to the time that Dominican Sue entered the NFL, and he was an absolute force right from the beginning. But it's been fun to watch his career progress, and I'm starting to see a little more finesse in his game, although I'm not sure he'd like me to describe it that way. But you see the agility, you see the movement, and of course, he can bull rush when he needs to get to the quarterback.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Miami's offense getting ready to come back out onto the field. Take a step back, Charles. You look at the Dolphins in 2017. Look, they were 10-6 in 2016. Many people thought, wow, here we go. 2017 high hopes. They limped to a 6-10 finish, however.
Yeah, and you use the word limped, and it started with the injury to Ryan Tannehill, his knee in preseason, in camp. And then they decided to bring in Jay Cutler. That didn't work the way they expected to work at the quarterback position. Jay Ajayi was a Pro Bowl, well over 1,000-yard runner the year before. The chemistry wasn't right. He gets traded to Philadelphia midseason. And Jarvis Landry, over 100 catches this year, but yards per catch, well below 10 yards. So when you add it all together, not what they expected on the offensive side of the ball.
The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Here's Tannehill. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Winston now to throw on first down. Evans has it left side. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. And we'll be back to South Florida after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they've got it here with a first down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Jameis now on first down. His throw incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. A second down throw for Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The tight end, Cameron Brate, was the target. And that'll make it third down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up fourth.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on third down, maybe said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4. Jameis again. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in. But I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
On 2nd and 10, Tannehill. And Fasano here brings it in. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Tannehill. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Fielded just inside the 30. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. So out come the Bucs now. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field. And he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit. They're in the same spot again.
Well, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. The play fake to Sims. Now Winston. He's going to let this go deep for and this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Deshaun Jackson, 45 yards. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want It's just a moment where the guys covering take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by them. And once he's by them, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Folk out there now to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Play action. It's Tannehill. And that is incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
It came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. They find some open field here. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. On first down, Drake stops shy of the 45 despite some powerful running. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Robert Ayers able to track him down for a loss of 13, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He'll look to set up his blockers. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7-0 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Deshaun Jackson getting set to go again on offense. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 24 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he's going to be out of bounds down to the 25. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
All right, Brandon, we'll see if I can get through this without being skipped as we welcome you to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both the Dolphins and the Buccaneers haven't had a reliable run game so far. The push up front has not been there, and you have to give credit to both defenses on that front. All right, let's roll the highlights. Now 1st and 10, quick pass and completion to Deshaun Jackson, and he'll be tackled at the 26-yard line. First and 10, Jameis Winston able to get this one in the hands of Deshaun Jackson, and he ends up at the 39-yard line before he stopped on the play. Buccaneers now they have it at the 45. The quick pass and completion is made, and 45 yards later he'll go in for the score, giving them an early lead.
Okay, Larry, back here, 7-0 our score as we ready ourselves for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going...
And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Second down, here's Tannehill. On the left side, this is Stills. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And his throw is incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. So pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this.
Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And a look now at the game so far for Jameis Winston. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
The protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a goal.
And got his man complete. The 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Deshaun Jackson, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
On for the extra point is Folk. And it's good to make it 14-0. The quick strike ability, certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Folk out there now to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Tannehill on first down. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Robert Ayers in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Draw play. Tannehill gives to Drake. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 36 yards.
They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them. And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
They stay on the ground with Drake. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. William Golston in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Miami, as we've got the final quarter upon us, we get ready to start the 4th. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. And even 40 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there, almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially, this is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A gain of 32 that time. From the red zone now, Winston. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference, defense.
So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. It's the correct call.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Peyton Barber, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
And he'll bang that one through. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Folk out there now to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So now here come the Dolphins. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
On first down, Tannehill. To the right side here, the tight end Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field. And that one looks to be in the area where someone was held.
Offense.
So they decline it, and they choose to not give him that down back.
And I think that's the key to everything there. They didn't give up any yardage even on the completed pass. Don't give them an extra down in order to try and pick up a first.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to make it 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out.
And the ball is knocked out. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. And it's second down.
When we talk with people about what we think the most important quality for an NFL quarterback to possess, what do people usually say?
Arm strength, and he showed the arm strength there.
Yeah, pretty good bullet pass he threw, but he wasn't accurate, was he? No. Listen, you like mobility, but accuracy, first and foremost, is what a quarterback needs. He didn't possess it on that play.
The tight end, Julius Thomas, the intended target, and it's third down. The Dolphins on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And that's incomplete.
That's really nice coverage there. I'm not sure he would have gotten to the first down marker anyway. But boy, oh boy, did they blanket him.
Yeah, short throw, but he really didn't have many options. Had to force it in. Well, he didn't have to, but he chose to force it in somewhere. Incomplete.
Yeah, now it brings up 4th down.
Desperation time for Tannehill on 4th down. And some space here. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Now Folk for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And over the middle, this is Parker. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and now it's third down. The offense on third down tonight, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They're looking at third and a few inches. A shotgun snap for Tannehill, and he finds Julius Thomas. Tannehill with a hook up to Thomas for a Dolphin first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
On first down, it's Tannehill. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be a second down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. To throw is Tannehill. He dumps it off to Drake. And he's brought down. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. They go play action here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's third down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Tannehill. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. The Dolphins will send out the punter now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be run over, hit hard, as he'll be marked down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Winston here to throw. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
On 3rd down, Winston. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. And Ndamukong Suh able to drop it for a loss of 12. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big. But sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz. And even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
And barring something unforeseen, this will be the last play of the game. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. And with that, we sign off from Miami.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. 2 running backs will take the field today in hopes of leading their team to victory out on that field. It's the Bengals going up against the Buccaneers. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Gaudin and Charles
Patriots played host to 2 Super Bowls, and that's Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
There's Nick Folk ready to put this one in the air. And off we go from Tampa. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And stepping into your screen, Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals offense as they come out and get ready to go. Last year in 2017 for Dalton, 25 touchdowns, 12 picks. Fewest yards per game of his career, though, just 207.5. Where does he stand in your mind right now?
Well, right now, he's probably a middle-of-the-road quarterback. But I think he can be better than that if they surround him with better players. And remember during that playoff run, they did have those weapons, those guys he could get the ball out to on the perimeter besides A.J. Green. Right now, he's kind of a lone wolf at wide receiver. The offensive line has to be rebuilt, and that has always been a strength of Cincinnati because they've got plenty of runners. I mean, when you think about Joe Mixon, right, when you think about that crew, they can run the football, but they've got to get Andy Dalton some help. Surround him with better talent, he'll give you better numbers.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Again, it's Mixon. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Robert Ayers in there to drop it for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're running a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And this is a guy who cares totally about his team. He will do whatever it takes for a play to be successful and for his team to win. I've seen him become a lead blocker on running plays, even though I'm sure his coaches don't want him anywhere near that pile.
Well, he's going to take a shot right away. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
A 2nd down throw for Winston. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Deshaun Jackson, 55 yards. And the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Nick Folk for the point after. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time. Folk out there now to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Charles, we got a second here to discuss Cincinnati as their offense works their way back out there. Marvin Lewis, many thought on the way out, but now a 2-year extension, and it's 2 straight years without them being in the playoffs after 5 straight in the playoffs. Were you surprised that Marvin Lewis was given the extension?
I actually was, because he was at the end of his contract, and I thought that that was a natural endpoint for he and the Bengals, especially since, as you framed it, back-to-back years without the playoffs, back-to-back years of 7 and 9. But getting the 2-year extension tells me they're ready to rebuild. Retool this team. They've got to get better in the offensive line. They've got to get better skill position players. The defense is going to undergo some more construction now. Got a new defensive coordinator coming in. So the coaching staff, players, a rebuild in Cincinnati, and they think Marvin Lewis is the guy to guide them.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he is going to feel that one. Knocked down hard. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down. Now that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
To throw on 3rd down. Dalton. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Kevin Huber now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. This is brought in at the 21. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together. But I'll bet you again.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Deshaun Jackson with his second touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Bucs get the quick strike touchdown. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
On for the extra point is Folk. And it's good to make it 14-0. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Folk out there now to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes it's just too much pressure there, In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, Dalton complete to the right side. It's Eifert, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quicker.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Deshaun Jackson doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
And it is now 21-0. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. Folk out there now to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play call.
Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for him.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use things to get yourself back into it.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 28-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in the long...
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Gerald McCoy. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Take it in at the 22. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And a look now at the game so far for Jameis Winston. And a trio of touchdown passes so far. They've got the lead as well. All is good in their football world at this point.
And it's so much fun for our colleagues, right? Think about our producer, our director, everyone putting together these shots. Wouldn't you love to be in the truck right now and hear him calling for it? Give me that one, give me that one, give me that one. And we just saw 3 beautiful touchdown passes.
Now he's looking for 4. Winston now to throw on 1st down. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was that a 3-and-out, it was their 3rd straight incompletion on this drive, and they didn't even think about trying to run the football. Now they have to give it up.
And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. Oh, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Gerald McCoy in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Let's shift now and discuss Deshaun Jackson. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Well, it wasn't much of a gain, but we're getting near the 2-minute warning. So maybe they just want to get to that point, regroup, and decide what they want to do the rest of the half.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. Working out of the gun, Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's fourth down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
He's going to let this go deep, and that's caught inside the 30. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Deshaun Jackson on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Bucs offense continuing to pour it on. Wow, talk about a big fourth-down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. Folk out there now to kick this one off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Dalton throwing middle, but it's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because
You prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And he'll be well short of a first down as he stopped again right at the line of scrimmage.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
This is taken at the 18. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Deshaun Jackson getting set to go again on offense. He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the second quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you always want to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all those things? But the best players show up each and every week, solid games and some spectacular ones.
And he has showed up time and time again. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Winston. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's fourth down.
So the defense forces a 3-and-out, but they got some help along the way. They threw it on first down, and when they were unsuccessful, it became second and long. Didn't get it again on another pass. Went third and long, and they almost had to.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, 67 yards. And this Buccaneer offense is running away with this one. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Now Folk for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Folk out there now to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Second down, Dalton. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Now the Bengals on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Dalton here from the gun. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in front. As we send you cross-state to Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley, he's got our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, back to you guys in a minute. But first, it's indeed time for our EA Sports halftime report. The Buccaneers are showing they're the better team right now and lead big at the end of 2. The Bengals will have to make some adjustments before the second half gets underway. All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half. We go to early in the first. Winston connects on a pass into coverage. And this play will go for 6 as they take a 7-0 lead. Now 1st and 10, here Deshaun Jackson making the catch in traffic. And nobody can stop him on this long touchdown. 1st and 10, Winston's on target here, and he'll take this all the way for the touchdown as they go up here at 21-0. Bengals on offense. First quarter winding down. The football is going to be up for grabs here. Buccaneers will pick up the loose football and score. The Buccaneers up now by 28. We move late into the second. Quick pass and completion to Jackson. And a quick 3-play drive ends with a score. Still late in the first half. Jameis Winston able to get this one in the hands of Deshaun Jackson. And after the long pass, he'll score.
Okay, Larry, a fairly one-sided first half as we get set to go in the second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Let's shift now and discuss Deshaun Jackson. A monster game so far, third quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers, though?
Absolutely.
Who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Jameis to throw it. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. This offense 2 for 2 converting on these thus far, so why not try again here on 4th down? They'll go for it. Winston. He's got Evans. 20, 10, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Mike Evans, 68 yards. And this Buccaneer offense, they're running away with this one. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. Folk out there now to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here we go with a player spotlight, and we shine that spotlight on Andy Dalton. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
Yeah, I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game.
Give them 17 at a Cincinnati first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And Dalton to throw. And the grab by Croft. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. 3rd and 2 for Dalton. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth. So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now.
And got his man complete. Past the 20. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Deshaun Jackson taking it in. And the Bucs offense continuing to pour it on. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I've lost track of how many times he's been in the end zone. This is just flat unbelievable.
Doesn't matter whether you have an abacus, a calculator, just old-fashioned pencil and paper trying to total it up. The number is staggering. What a performance. This man knows how to find the end zone and make it count.
On for the extra point is Folk. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Folk out there now to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. 2nd down following the run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They look to throw on third with Dalton. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Dalton to his big target, Eifert, for the Cincinnati first.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Fresh set of downs here. Now Dalton. Got his man. It's Eifert. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. 2nd and 10. Dalton once more. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Deshaun Jackson getting set to go again on offense. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation. The catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
A good pickup there, a 22.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. On 2nd down, Winston again. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And that one results in 35 yards.
tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Folk out there now to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
And a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
And this one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed. We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
On 3rd and 2, Dalton, he's got his man, Boyd. And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the first. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. This will be Dalton again. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
What's the old adage, be quick but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Passing again, Dalton on 2nd and 10. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And Sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. They're looking to throw this. Winston. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
And that one is incomplete, and now we're inside of 10 seconds. Just 9 remain.
That was a nice grab. Just couldn't get the feet down, right? You needed that toe tap sequence there. Whatever size shoe he's wearing, probably need about a half size smaller to complete that one.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. Now Winston. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
That's how you, Charles. You play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
It's up and good, and they add one more to what will wind up a fairly lopsided victory. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0
Montana.
You know, I'm like, yeah, nice P, you know?
What up, Pink?
Man.
Skateboard.